family from Indonesia and one from Vietnam, and allowed them to introduce themselves.
So good morning everyone. Honored to be here. I'm Distya. I handle oral care marketing and also professional marketing for personal care of Unilever Indonesia. So in Indonesia, oral care is the market leader, and professional marketing, in case you're wondering, is we collaborate with professional organizations, so with doctors, dentists, to provide the best collaboration for our customers. Thank you.
Wow.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Vũ. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Lavin Nestle Water in Vietnam. So, like most of the brand builder in Nestle, we believe in purposeful marketing. And for purposeful marketing, people often ask, so how can we deliver that, or how can we build that? So, from our belief, we think that it's come from being positive empathizer towards the consumer, and it's the core marketing job. And the other task is that we should be continuously progressive seeker for the new solutions and the new innovations to excite and delight the consumer experience. So that's the reason why it's also motivated us to come here today to join the AI conference. Yeah. So nice to meet all of you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I guess we all are here to learn about AI and marketing, because apparently some robots are going to come and take our jobs. At least that's what Sam Altman thinks, the CEO of OpenAI. He thinks almost 90% of the jobs in advertising could be replaced by AI. And Sir Martin Sorrell, who I think knows a thing or two about advertising because he was the founder of WPP, agrees with it. He has given a time frame of about 3 years, and he thinks most of the jobs in advertising would be replaced, or would at least be taking care of half of the work that we do with the help of AI. So is it scary, or is it something that we should be worried about? But I think it's not just about robots taking over, it's about understanding that we're standing at the edge of fundamental shift in how the brand communication and how brands are engaging with the consumers. Right? So with that, I would like to ask you as to what are these changes and transformation that we are seeing in the marketing landscape these days because of AI.
So from our experience in the recent year, the AI and data solutions is really coming to enhance the customization and personalization in the marketing field. It is I think that the biggest observation that we have. And by saying customization and personalization, honestly, that it fundamentally changed the way that we operate. Because normally before that, we often come with a standard operation is having one hero communication assets and then roll it out across the touch point. But nowadays, that it's really changed the way we think in designing the campaign. That we start with how many segments of consumer we should do, and from that segments, core segments of the target audience, what are the adaptive communication we should make for the consumer, and what data signal that we can leverage to place our ad to target the right people. And even in the recent years, with some work with the our partners, we can even detect the different data signal to understand what are the moments that the consumer are most receptive towards the message we want to land. So honestly, all of that personalization is really enhance the effectiveness and the efficiency that we have in our marketing activities. And I think that it's also come to the point that all of the historical records of effectiveness norm or efficiency norm start to be challenged and start to be relooked again. Because honestly, that in the last 1 year, for our own observation, all of the historical records is broken thanks to the data analytics and AI power solutions. Yeah, so it is the core things that we observe.
Distya, anything you have observed with changes happening in the marketing?
Yeah, so I think 3-5 years ago, I thought that when I heard the term AI, it would be like extravagant, Jarvis in the Iron Man kind of things. But apparently, it is more daily. It is closer than I thought. For example, when they're doing the programmatic, we do the media buying using the help of AI, and it reduce the cost of 40%. We can reach our consumers, we can reach our audiences with cost. Second one is because in Indonesia, we provide what I call teledentistry, so it's like telehealth, but for dentists. Because Indonesians, 90% of them don't visit dentists unless they already feel the pain. So we would like to change their habit. We introduced the teledentistry, and this is where the AI comes in. I have the AI-powered chatbot for the bridging, and then soon I will introduce the self-check self-check tooth lens, what I call. Is basically people can really see what happened in their oral health, what kind of steps they need to do, and the next thing is to get the treatment from the dentist. So I think those are totally different things that changed my mind as well.
So this is exciting. You talked about AI being a part of our daily life now, right? Earlier we saw the presentation from Samsung, and how AI is now in our hands, AI on the device. Obviously, this brings certain challenges for the marketeers. And how do we start adopting our way of working according to AI? So what sort of challenges or barriers do you see, which is probably restricting marketers from adopting AI in the full manner? Because consumers seem to have already started using it. It's in their hands. So what are marketers? Are there any challenges that you see in your day-to-day work?
So for me, the start is whether marketeers, in this case, from my experience, it's the team, whether they really understand AI. What is the benefit of AI? Because consumers don't use AI for AI, they don't understand what AI can do, because the limit is up to the marketeer's imagination. That's what I'm thinking. So first of all is to upskill them, but at the same time, they also have to understand that it has to go back to what the brand stands for. So we need to stay true to the brand's identity. What the brand would like to help people, what the brand would like to have a role in the community. The second one is, I think, about the justification of ROI. I think for myself, I also have a lot of challenges about the ROI. How can I justify this? How can I know that this is working for my brand? So I think those are challenges I face, but then I realized that you'll never know until you experience it. It is a journey, and we need to embrace it together. It might not be 100% correct from the first time, but it will be. It will be getting better in each time. And it also depends on what you see and what you think of as ROI. So in my case, because this is related, so I use the AI for both of the brands, Pepsodent and Close Up. Pepsodent is PS in Vietnam. They are giving, and the AI is delivering the kind of excitements to the brands. So even Pepsodent is already like more than 70 years. It's already 9 years in Indonesia. Hence, the top of mind in Gen Z was deteriorating. That's because we are using more and more hyper-relevant communication, excitements because of the AI with close-up. The top of mind is increasing for both brands, in Gen Z specifically.
I'll come to the ROI part later. How about you?
Yeah, so honestly, I also agree with Distya about the team. But then I think that as a role of the leader as well, we also take responsibility for that. By one of the observations is that honestly our process, our internal way of working, does it really support the adoption of the AI or not? So honestly, I also having that we look at my team, and then we see that most of the time we have very well-defined process. And in all of that process, we have the existing tool to deliver that task. So it is one of the common blind spots that the team often have is that, okay, when we having the clear project in front and then we need to run fast toward it to make it happen in the market, we often tend to focus on the current process. So I think that is one of the action as a leader that we should also support our team to overcome this challenge by taking a certain gate or certain pause in the process to question ourselves, okay, at this stage, whether we are having the innovative solution to really crack the challenge in a different level, at the more effective and more efficient way or not. So I think it's the things that we can support our team. And another point that I would love to add is about brand safety, because we often say that, okay, because of our team, but then also the tool itself at this moment, AI doesn't fully ensure the brand safety yet. So please also consider in your application, even very passionate about AI solutions, but then how we can ensure the AI use is constructive to our brand, not harmful to it, and with a very clear and close monitor of the brand safety as well.
So that's a very interesting point on how marketers are integrating AI in the process, right? And what are some of the obstacles? I was reading the MMA research about state of AI in marketing. I was very surprised. In Vietnam, almost 54 or 58% of the marketers say they have started using AI in their marketing process. More or less the same number in Indonesia, about 48% of the marketers say they have started using AI in the marketing process. But there's still room. Like only 16 to 20% of the marketers say they have fully embraced AI into the marketing process, right? So there's a lot of room to cover. Now, this year when we look at the creative process, right, and I just want to focus on the creative. There's a lot of use of AI in the whole marketing, but let's just talk about the creative today, right? So when you look at the use of AI in creative, do you think AI would replace the whole creative creation process, or do you see it just adding a bit of dimension or bit of variety to what the creative output is? So what you are seeing as the role of AI in the whole creative development process?
I always think AI is as enabler, so it feels like having 100 assistants on your hands. Because what I believe is that the brand identity, the brief that is given to AI is coming from human, it's coming from us. We are the ones who can feel whether this kind of communication is right for our consumers or not. And the AI will help us deliver the job. So I think what I experienced is that we started to use AI in terms of the innovation, making storyboard coming from AI, making concept of the product coming from AI, and the hyper-relevant communication. But at the end of the day, we'll judge whether that communication is really good, whether that communication is really relevant and working best. It's us.
So let's move on to ROI. So in a world driven by data, everyone loves talking about data. Data is the new oil. Data is driving engine. How do we justify the value of AI? Because there are a lot of questions around what is the ROI of AI? Are we doing it as an experiment, or is it a part of our integral story about ROI? So what are the challenges that you have seen in justifying the ROI of AI initiatives? So Tu, maybe you could start with this.
Actually, ROI is really part of our life every day. That every single activities in the recent days, we need to justify to really invest on it. Honestly, I think that one of the common challenges that we often face when we do the ROI for AI solutions is that most of the ROI means the incremental revenue, but not all of the application of AI will generate immediately into the conversions and the additional customer or the incremental revenue. So I think that at that point, we should be a little bit flexible. And actually, honestly, that's what our team did, is that we observe different application of the AI and then convert it into the monetary equivalent impact. So I can give the example, like even for the media, if without the AI, we will need to spend the X amount of money, but thanks to the AI, we target sharper the right person, and then we also deliver better reach, on target reach, and also better views. And thanks to that, we save the total amount of the budget. Honestly, for our case, it's 20% less than the normal business as usual campaign. So honestly, its equivalent savings is also can be calculated in the ROI once. And then also, I think that one of the core things is that when we apply our AI solutions, most of the time we think that is a quick wins. But honestly, from my own experience, maybe different people having different experience, but for our case, the duration and the scale makes a difference in the ROI calculations. Even technology, quick and fast to adopt, but to really make the AI to be well trained, well learned, to do all of the machine learning, and then start to function optimally. Honestly, it takes time, and from our own observation, honestly, it takes around like minimum 8 weeks to really having the optimal curve, and to make the impact to calculate the good ROI as well. And the scale is also comes together, because if we run too small scale, it's very difficult to justify for the investment. Yeah, so just in a nutshell, I think that the story that I tell to you is that if you consider to apply AI in your daily work, choose the core battle, where it is the core job to be done for your business, for your brand. So from that one, you ensure that you design the scale, significant scale, and also with the current certain duration to ensure that it justifies the investment and also the efforts of the team.
So, great point. Now this year when we talk to brands, we talk to a lot of brands, right? One of the common asks is, we want something innovative, we want something first in the market. Do you have a case study and ROI for it? Right? So it becomes, it's contradictory when you're doing something for the first time. How could you have a case study and ROI? Right? And I'm sure there would be a lot of similar questions internally that you would have to answer to stakeholders whenever you are thinking of doing AI, and there will be questions around ROI for it. Right? What are your ways of handling such questions?
It is very interesting question, because that was my question some time ago, to the team and the partner. But basically it's like this. So I think the first one is like what you mentioned. On the programmatic, it's very feasible, it's tangible, because you can see right away that you save certain amount of reduction of the spend, right, for reaching the same target audiences. Even if so, then you can use the same amount of money to reach more. That's very feasible. But what I did back then was that this is the case study of Close Up, on which I used the AI to get excited on the Gen Z or the youngsters to really speak up for themselves. And then basically it turns out that the share, the imageries, and also the sales, when we are doing the project, was also resulting in a good trend. So you see that perhaps there was a lot of challenges, even for myself, whether it can work as if the money, not only from the imageries point of view, but then when I did that, of course, like what to mention as well, it has to be done with skill, within the brand's identity. It's true to what the brand stands for in the market, and then basically it gives excitement. It links the excitement with the sales. Then you can see it very tangible.
So I'll come to the point on brand identity. That's a very interesting one, especially with the context of how AI is controlling your creative process, right? But Distya, what are some of the emerging AI technologies or use cases that you're seeing coming up, which you find very promising and you think would become the main trend in the next 3 to 5 years?
I think first of all is the hyper-relevant or personalized kind of message. Because, for example, in my case, we track consumers or we track people using our teledentistry with the needs of their own health. So I can say to people who suffer from sensitivity that, hey, this is what you are suffering from, you can get this kind of help, or we can provide this kind of solution. And for the other people who suffer from a gum problem, I have different solutions. So I think the hyper-relevant and personalized message should be the future. The other one is, again, excitement, because more and more people are very critical about advertising. They want more and more from us. Like, if we give them this level of excitement, say currently 100, the next day they want 110. The next day again they want 150. Because they keep on craving for more. And we are in the world of stealing attention, or stealing attentions from the other competitors. So it's more and more important for us to create excitement towards the new generations.
So that's an interesting point. Hyper-personalization or personalization at scale. You also talked about personalization earlier on. How do we foresee the future of maintaining the brand voice and tone going forward? So two these questions for you. Right? Do you see it more fluid as AI takes more and more control? Or do you think it could be more consistent and would have to be controlled and managed?
Honestly, I think that it will be both. Because I don't see the fluid and adaptive is contrary with the consistent. So like any other brand builder, I believe that we always believe in consistency that makes a difference and build a successful, meaningful, different brand, and also believe that. So honestly, I think that the more we do the adaptive and the more we use the AI solution, the more we need the very strong and comprehensive brand guidelines to ensure that all of the adaptation is still consistent and true to our brand. Because it is a core fundamental that helps the consumer think of you. Because from one of the research we have in Nestle is that 80% of the time consumer make the purchase decision is subconsciously, unconsciously. So people don't think that much. So if you are not so uniquely different, the consumer will just pick the random things on the shelf. So the only thing that you can really drive the difference is to be really consistently, uniquely different. So I think that is also reflecting some of the recent evolution in Nestle that we have is that besides the normal brand essence guideline, we also having the other two tools that can also support the adaptive but staying consistent. Is mostly I think that the 5 senses guideline, because most of the time we think that okay, the brand essence means that this is our brand vision, this is our brand personality. But honestly, in nowadays, when we adapt to so many different occasions and different locations, we really need to understand how our brand will feel like, look like, be heard, the sounds of the brand, be touched. So really about the 5 senses imagination of our brand. And it should be well circulated to our brand team and also our brand partners to ensure the consistency. And another point is that about the consumer experience framework, because in the world of AI, there's so many possibilities and it's very easy to get lost. So coming back to the core job to be done of the brand, so we should design the consumer journey that having a very concrete key job to be done or key task per stage of the consumer to ensure that at each stage, whatever we adapt, we solve the core problem to drive the benefit for our brand and our business. So it is the key things that I think that as a marketing we all need to embrace as well.
Great. So we are running out of time. So on this, I'll probably sum it up. I think it's not about choosing between human intuition and machine intelligence. It's a combination of both. How we use both in our marketing. And probably the biggest barrier today in adopting this technology is not the technology itself. I think it's more of our mindset and our old way of thinking. If we are able to overcome it, I think we would be able to embrace AI just like we've embraced, as Rohit was saying. Electricity, internet, everything came in and we were able to adapt to it and make it work for us. So hopefully we will be able to make AI work for us as well. Whether the robots are going to come and take our jobs. Let's see that after 3 years. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vice Secretary. This time we're very grateful. So please remain on seat because we also already very beautiful and meaningful gift for your sharing today. Thank you so much on behalf of the MMA.